Divine greetings, Masters. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. And this is Madhu Soni welcoming you all to Light and Soul Meditation English Group. Masters, today we have Rani Ojha ji with us, and we are going to do Swadhyaya of Chapter 6, Death of a Loved One, which is continuing from last week. So, Masters, this is where we are actually continuing with this pre-birth planning stories. And Robert Schwartz has actually shared so many stories with us till now, till chapter 6. And we are on to Valerie's story and how she was, she lost two loved ones from her life, and how she's learning what was her purpose. So today we have Rani Ojha ji with us, and she's from New Jersey. She is into spirituality, and she is into ISKCON Temple, um, Charitable Foundation Trust also. I believe she's working, volunteering. And but apart from that, she's also working as, I believe she is also working with finance. If Rani ji, you can tell us, today I have no words. So let me
You
add.
know me so well
Yes,
that you don't
I
have
know.
words to explain.
Yeah, but sometime, So anyway,
Yeah.
let us go and start the Swadhyaya. Definitely, you also love doing meditation, and also you are on to Bhakti Marg, now going on to Dhyan Marg. You have joined us and helping us with Swadhyaya as well. So, very happy to have you here, Rani ji. But yeah, let us begin the Swadhyaya today. And it's chapter 6, pages are 198 to 207, and in between, Masters, she will again start with chapter 7, which starts from 202 page number. So the stage is all yours now, Rani ji. The platform is all yours. So
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Madhuji, for giving me the opportunity again. Yes, you know about the book. It's Your Soul Plan. We are reading chapter 6. It's a continuation, and it's the primary character and the primary soul we're talking about is Valerie. And then she lost two most loved one in her life, and how she copes with it, and how she actually gets into other dimension. That's what we are going to read today. So Valerie is the character. Dustin is her son. And can everyone mute themselves, please?
no, let me mute everyone. I'm so sorry. I'll mute everyone. Yeah, go ahead, Rani ji. Okay, 1 second. You are now co-host.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you are now co-host, so you can unmute as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. So we have three characters here, and Valerie is the one who is going to be experiencing the extreme emotional ups and downs. She would experience quite a lot of sadness because of other people's choice in her life. She felt she was able to handle this, and that's why she chose this plan. But she also understood by experiencing such emotional extremes, there will be a pendulum effect, and that will eventually lead her to a place of balance within herself. So she knew that she always had Dustin and DC with her, and she was one with them. But the separation was immense grief to her. And once she also felt that it is making her powerless. And her consciousness, it melted when her son, he passed away. She remembered that separation, and she tried to balance that as illusory. She understood the memory of self as an internal, powerful soul. And then she comes to know deeply, experientially, who she is. She is, and she is trust, and she is faith. Because if Dustin and DC did not seem to be deceased in her life, what would it mean? for Valerie to have faith, and their lives are endless. She would never be able to figure that out, right? So the author says that of doubt is truly meaningful trust is born, and in uncertainty is real faith created. So that's how that faith and trust was created in her life. She could not perceive herself as truly separate from them, and that's why that faith and the trust became more and more strong. And the author also says that she experienced that as a soul, when you share different incarnation, other incarnation, your love is very deep. The bonds of the hearts are inseparable, and that is in spirit. So Dustin and DC would be with her forever. That was the trust and the faith that she gained in this lifetime. So we are never without our loved ones, and they are never without us. That's what she said. She knows that always Dustin and DC are one with her, and she is the one with them. She could not perceive herself truly separate, to get separated from them, and that's the faith she had all the time. Each time she chooses to feel the love that Dustin and DC continue to send her, she takes a step towards understanding the illusion, the transience of physical death. So it was becoming more and more clear to her. Each time she was feeling that love, even when they were not present with her physically, she was able to understand the illusion of loss, while in body is an expanded way that impossibility of loss in spirit. And so she will return to spirit and share with Dustin and DC a new and more profound appreciation for the permanence of their lives and love. The circumstances that was created in this lifetime that actually allowed Valerie to experience herself also as more empathical and compassionate. So Valerie, who had felt so utterly alone after Dustin and DC's death, was able to ease that pain only because she herself was living it. What that means is the impact, the energetic impact of such an intimate connection is immeasurable and far exceeds that which could be offered by someone with only a conceptual understanding of suffering. It was so deep, it was so profound. And in that spontaneous expression of love, Valerie created a new awareness of herself as empathy and compassion. And then take that compassion to other people in such painful situations. So when Valerie embraced that woman, which I think Madhu read, whose life had been devastated by Hurricane Katrina, she felt, and she truly felt her despair. And the depth of Valerie's empathy and in the intensity of her compassion had been, was felt by the other woman as well. And in that moment in the convenience store, Valerie anguish allowed her genuinely to understand someone else. So Valerie could have planned a carefree existence for herself, but such a life would never have created the path, the heartfelt resonance that was sparked in the coming together during the hurricane. As Valerie hugged her, the other woman felt the empathy and compassion of someone who knows. And Valerie definitely knew it, and the other woman also felt that. She felt understood, and because she felt understood, she was no longer alone in her pain. That is so beautiful in itself, right? So when one is in pain, one is looking for somebody who understands that pain. We keep talking to make other people understand, but nobody understands the way, Valerie actually understood that woman, and the woman also understood that Valerie understands her pain. Valerie would later say that I have an absolutely magnificent understanding of human suffering because she went through that herself. Yet it is more than an understanding. It is now a way of being. The energetic impact of such an intimate connection that only could be offered by someone who actually understood that suffering. So after she leaves the physical plane, she will carry that heightened self-knowledge into spirit, where it will remain part of her soul long after the pain that made it possible has faded into recess of time. What that means is that goes with her, right? So whatever she has learned in this birth, she will carry. And that is the self-knowing she will carry with her in spirit, which remains in her, with her soul. Now, the author also says that the soul seeks to balance in subsequent incarnations. That's what they found out, right? What has been left unbalanced. And Valerie has experienced other lifetimes of being pulled out of balance. And this time, it was a part of her pre birth plan to experience with such painful, raw, intense emotions that accompanies death, right? Death is the most painful experience one gets in this earth life, right? Which contrasts with inner stillness. How can one get that inner stillness when one is so disturbed intentionally, and intense emotions is there, and seeing a death of such a close one in the family, in her life? So that is a contrast, and that will create that inner stillness in her. Valerie heals herself by helping others to heal. She will forge within herself a feeling of centeredness, balance, and inner stillness. She has experienced other lifetimes of being pulled off balance, so she definitely needed that strong hit to get that balanced this lifetime. Now, DC and Dustin would decide before birth to leave Valerie is difficult to comprehend from the level of personality. But at the level of soul, these plans were made in love. And by now we know, because we've been reading for so long, that this is a soul's plan. This is not a physical personality plan or a family plan. This is a soul plan. And they were all made in love. The ultimate idea is to have love and, unconditional love. DC and Dustin scripted lives that would foster their growth and that of everyone with whom they shared their lives, including Valerie. As Valerie's spirit guide observed, it is the imbalances caused by their deaths that will lead her back to her center. Now, Stacy is the one who is, talking to her, mentioned that Valerie finds out that center and experience the pendulum effect as she shifts to a soul level perspective in which the transience, that's the constant changing situation of loss, becomes recognizable. Valerie's spirit guide also said that her brave surrender to her life plan will give rise to the feeling of self-worth, the courage she shows daily in living without Dustin and DC, as she comes to know herself as the powerful creator of all she experiences. And as she expresses herself on the physical plane as trust, faith, empathy, compassion, and balance, Valerie will come to know the feelings of self-love that are not dependent upon the role she plays in a particular lifetime. So Robert, the writer, said the importance. Here comes the part of the pre-birth plan and how important it is. The importance of just knowing the pre-birth plan gives one the idea to stay on path of what the soul has intended to come down. Just to have this knowledge that it has been planned by your soul, by ourselves, right? Now, soul is also willing to take chance because the soul knows that sooner or later everyone will pull themselves from that place of anger, grief, self-blame, guilt, etc. And they will have an expansion of consciousness. And as a result of that, there will be a life challenge, which one has to play. But it's upon the soul that how much time they need to play that role. And you want to spend in that negativity of self-blame, anger, grief. And the author also says that it's a very painful place to be. If you imagine yourself in that negativity, if you're in that lower vibrational place, how do you bring yourself back? and get the healing that your soul needs and get yourself out of that place. That is very, very important. One can stay there for years, for lifetimes, and for, multiple lifetimes. And as per the author, the best way to come out is to work with your pre-birth plan. Because what it does, it holds you out of that victim consciousness just by knowing that you planned it yourself. And when you are vibrating as a victim, you're stating to the universe that you are a victim. And as you all may know by now, the universe is always our obedient servant, right? So when we state to the universe that we are the victim and we want to stay in that lower vibration, it always says back that yes, master, and brings more experience to you to confirm that you're a victim. So it's a cycle. It's very difficult to come out of. And I remember Madhuji saying always that don't blame yourself for anything. Come out of that feeling. So it is very, very important. The more I read, the more I spend time, the more I understand this. So thank you. There's so many important points. I was not able to edit anything, but I just wanted to read it to you all. Valerie's life blueprint asks her to know herself in the same way she now knows DC and Dustin as eternal soul, right? She has defined herself in past lives as someone's wife, someone's mother, girlfriend. Those self-definitions are part of this lifetime as well. But the only difference is the loss of the people for whom she played those roles calls her into recollection of herself as something more than just playing that role. It also motivates her to shift gradually from personality to soul consciousness. The guides know that pain suppresses is pain unhealed. So you try to suppress more and more pain, it is actually getting collected, it is not getting healed. So though these roles were chosen and agreed upon before birth, the enactment of the plan still creates painful feelings of loss. It's a very, very painful feeling of loss. But she learned it. She learned and has much to teach about living with such feeling. Following her son's death, she knew from her experience that she would have to embrace the pain because this happened second time to her. And as the spirit guide advised in Valerie's session, she said that I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry until I have no more tears. And then I'll cry some more. So to heal pain, it may be helpful to consider that we have relationship with ourselves in the same way we have relationship with others. So for example, if a dear friend comes to us for support after losing a loved one, we do not fold our arms across our chest and turn the other way, right? Nor do we tell our friend that we have no time for her, or that he needs to put the pain aside and just go on and move on. Then why do we sometimes treat ourselves in this manner, as if we are not the soul and as if we don't need that compassion at the most difficult time, right? So Valerie turned away from herself after DC's death, but when she sought solace in alcohol. But after Dustin's passing away, she loved herself enough to feel the loss. When we are grieving, we need more than ever to extend the same love to ourselves that we would offer so freely and generously to a friend in mourning. That's something I learned today, that we need ourselves, and we can give it to ourselves. And that is a part of our healing. It's painful. It is very painful. And because of that, there is at times a desire or a temptation to rush the process, or even not feel it, just put it aside, or just, go along, just keep it aside and just move on, right? But for the soul, grief is an expression of love. It's not a bad thing. It's just an expression. It's painful, but it's still an expression of love. And every expression of love is healing. So if we resist grief, we literally wrap energy around our pain and lock it into place. So yeah, that's a learning. Crying is body's natural means for clearing such energetic density. Tears keeps energy flowing and so allow for further healing. Now that we know, we may be inclined to think that we should cry. This is a very important line, okay? So now that we know that we may be inclined to think that we should cry. Now, on a non-physical level, the energy of should is incompatible with true healing. So should is the intellectual construct of mind trying to control a process of the heart. So mind and heart, right? To cry because we should is to mourn through and with ego, which is mind, right? Crying because we want to is a gentle and loving way to nurture ourselves. So that's through heart. Yet far more important than what we do is the frequency at which we do it, right? Mourning is most healing when it is natural, spontaneous expression of emotion. Spirit never abandons us in our grief, and no one mourns alone. The solitary mourner is surrounded and embraced by a caring family of spirit guides, angels, and the departed, whose love for us is transcendent. Therefore, we learn that love never dies, bodies die, right? As we think of those who have returned to spirit, the energy of our thoughts calls them to us. Just by thinking, they are there in spirit. Often they attempt to speak with us, just as Dustin sent message to Valerie through her sister. They can place ideas into your mind, both when we are awake and even when more so when we dream, and feelings in our intuitions. Because they are now energy by physical restriction, they can communicate, they can arrange for coincidences that guides, heals, and otherwise benefits us. Our loved ones in spirit can create familiar scents, such as a cologne or perfume they use to signal that they are still with us. So I was listening to this one video of near-death experience by a woman, and there she mentioned that time I was not that clear about that idea. She said that she used to miss her deceased sister, and whenever she used to think about her, she used to smell cigarette in the house, and she was a non-smoker. The sister was a smoker, and then she used to call and try to talk to her sister's energy that, are you here, because I can smell the cigarette. So that just came true because I just read it in this book that they coincidences with you, and they bring some familiar sense also, right? So as we show our openness to the presence of our deceased loved ones, it is an invitation to them to work healing miracles in our life. We allow them so they can do miracles by healing us in our life. Valerie's stories also shows us that because we do not know other person's pre-birth plan, we cannot render judgment against the way in which the plan is lived. For the drug dealer, for Dustin, right? Few people may judge him harshly, but at the soul level, there was such love between Dustin and him that they planned another incarnation together, and he allowed him for his growth, right? Just like Valerie, she will express gratitude to DC and Dustin for making possible the learning she had planned. Now, importantly, there will be no blame to each other. All will know that they were not victims, and that in fact there are no victims at soul level. Guilt will be absent, and forgiveness unnecessary for what is there to forgive when all perform the plan well and lovingly. That's what she said, that there is no place for guilt or forgiveness because everyone performed their role, like we go for a play, right? So they just performed their role, and it actually helped Valerie to grow. So ultimately, the death of the physical body is a decision made by souls after their life plans have been fulfilled. When one is lost, be assured that all that needed to be gained has been gained. Valerie's soul told us that. This assurance brings with it the understanding that we are not to blame for a loved one's death. Fatal accident or circumstances for which we may feel responsible are simply some of the exit points planned by our loved ones before birth. For you who feel you caused or should have prevented another's death, you should know this, that no one dies without consent. Therein rests your self-forgiveness. Therein lies your peace. And they are at peace in the knowledge that they lived their lives just as they had planned. And they would share that knowledge and the peace it brings with us. So that's from that chapter. Madhuji, do you want to add anything? Anybody has any comments or question?
Uh, no, but thank you so much, Rani ji, for ending this chapter, Death of a Loved One. And here, Masters, we are ending with the chapter 6. And now we are going on to chapter 7, which is on accident. And definitely, this is what the takeaway from the last chapter 6 is that few things that I've learned is that whatever why we are here, the main purpose for any soul is to learn and to understand, to be compassionate towards anyone, to show, to feel that empathy, um, to give and receive love equally, like in a balanced way, and to also understand fortitude, or to have this energy of fortitude within you so that you can face any challenge. And we all need to understand that the soul journey continues, but the personality is very transient. And the loss of that personality is also basically, we should understand that we all are souls. And this loss is very transient. That means it's for a very short time, because the other side is always there with us. It's just a hair breadth away. That's what they said. And also, the another takeaway that I felt was yesterday, it was so prominent that masters were saying that yes, we do have spirit guides, guardian angels, and as well as we have the other personalities also as souls with us, who are discussing our soul plan. And then whatever we have learned in this lifetime, not only that, but even our ascended masters are also there helping us. So it was a big time confirmation for me, because I have been thinking that yes, they were helping me with this soul journey, what I'm doing right now. But then it was confirmed yesterday again. I knew, but still, when I was reading this book, it was so wonderful. Now today, when Rani ji is also saying, same way, that's what I felt, that the takeaway is also that when you have learned something in this lifetime or any other lifetime, try to share that knowledge, whatever it may be, whatever you have learned, share it with others, because until unless you share, you are not going to leave this planet Earth. You have to reincarnate again. So if you don't want to incarnate yourself again, and if you don't want to continue this human experience, better to share whatever you have. So for me, that's the last incarnation. That's what I feel. So anyhow, this is my takeaway. But now, yeah, you can take us forward. If anyone wants to share anything with this sixth chapter has given us so much information, right, Raniji?
I'm telling you personally also, it's been an eye-opener, a
Correct.
lot of learnings, and I feel like reading it one more time just to understand it better and so that it just stays with me.
Yeah, and I'm actually sharing this book, sharing the PDFs with everyone, whoever I know, where they would be helped and healed. So I'm doing that. I'm doing my bit. So you all also, please do your bit and read this again. So, yes, Nirja ji, and then we can go on to chapter 7 after taking
Sure.
notes.
Yeah. So very nicely done, Raniji. I think
Thank you.
yesterday Madhu and Jay and I just had one question. Like, if you put reverse the role, right? In this case, the child passed away, but if you look at orphanages or where parents are and the child, the baby is born, and then the parents die, and or they give away. I wonder what kind of lesson that the baby soul. He might be an old soul, but in the baby form, it would be what was gone in the previous lives, and what happened for them to lose their parents at that young age.
Mhm. I think the soul will learn the lesson. That's what I feel. The soul will somehow learn the lesson, because we are all here to learn certain lessons. So we need to, and that's what I feel. Maybe I don't know. The another chapter that we are going to do is on accidents. So let's see what is in store for us in the the 7th chapter. I don't know, Rani ji will let us know because she is starting. We'll take Shirish ji and then we can go into meditation, right? Yes, Shirish ji?
Yeah, so what I see, that particular question Neeraji asked, right? So I see having the kids without the parents is actually, you see that opportunity for the people like us to support them, and they come for paying that debts or getting the debts from the person who is going to take care of them. Because I got involved in one of the organization in India. It's called Vatsalya Gram. They take destitute infants and the ladies. I don't know whether you are aware that one of our tradition, very bad tradition, is if the husband is dead, they just dump the lady on the street. In India it happens. So the vidwa and all of that kind of prathas we have. So there are some bad prathas in some of the communities. They just, and this sannyasi, sadhvi, is taking the destitute ladies, senior citizens. You won't believe what happens in India with senior citizens. They take them and give them a house to live and create a family. Okay. And they support each other to, financially and everything. They give them a work, and they give, the whole village is created out of the destitute, people, including the infants. So a lot of rehabilitation has to happen with those type of people. And there are people in India who are creating it. In fact, Mother Teresa also had similar thing going on, right? So that's why we call her Mother Teresa. So, and I think there is something that they have to give and take. I think there's always some other person to help each other.
Yes, one way, Shirish ji, you are correct. I would say, like, one, like if you go with somebody's story and someone is, balancing the karma, and maybe you are part of it and you are helping that kid to, get into studies and help them survive, and, much more things. But then there is other way to look at it is also, not other way, but another thing can be, another way that life can be, that journey continues, is like they will face many challenges, because that is their way to learn. That is the purpose in this lifetime, to learn. Because uh, not everyone is good. They could have gone into abuse, physical abuse, or physical or sexual abuse, or verbal abuse. Many things can happen. There are many cases where children have gone into lot of difficult challenges. So I say that there might be, this is one scenario that you shared, but there can be many other scenarios where children are basically fighting for their lives. Maybe they are fighting for survival, they're fighting for reading, eating, many other things, so we don't even know. There can be many things that are happening to them, but there can be many good people who can come up and help, like you, how you said. And definitely we can share helping hand. Definitely there's always a good chance. So, but anyhow, let's continue with Rani ji now.
I just want to share one short story of a minute. I just heard what Shirish ji said, and after reading this book, I'm just thinking from the other side, that not to harshly think about the person who is the bad person here, right? So maybe that person is helping the other person in the journey. But other than that, also, I just wanted to share one story I heard in my bhakti classes, that a son goes with her father to this fair, and he gets lost, right? And he's crying, constantly crying. So somebody comes and gives him a toy. He still didn't take the toy. He's still crying. Somebody comes and give him a lollipop. He did not take it. Somebody came, give him popcorn. Maybe he just ate it for a minute and then he started crying again. So the idea is, as soon as he thinks, he looks at his father, he's like happy. So that's all he wanted. You can bring him temporarily, goods, toys, toffees, but that will not help him. Maybe temporarily for a minute or so. So the same way, if you want to give that inner happiness to someone, so food, shelter, clothing may help you temporarily, but the ultimate help, if you want to do, is show them the direction to the ultimate, right? Be it
Oh
whatever
my
you
God.
believe in.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Rani ji, just
Meditation
imagine.
or bhakti, supreme soul, God, whoever you believe in, or the light,
Yes.
just show him that direction.
You know why I'm saying, oh my God? Because
Yeah.
see, I never wanted, like, I would not say I never wanted, because I have kept this book in the poll list, right? To let's see who all are choosing this book, or some other books. But see, we are doing Swadhyaya on this book, and the pages that came yesterday to me they were actually echoing my own past memories coming back to surface now, and telling me like what I have lived in my past. Now, today again, now when you said this, just imagine what you said. I was, I have gone to my daughter's science fair just before the class. Then I came back, and what happened, as soon as I was coming out of that fair with that building, a boy was crying. A boy was crying. Yes, that's what. Just imagine what this book is doing to me. Just imagine what it is bringing in
Okay.
front of me. And the boy was crying, continuously crying. I've seen him like here, there, everywhere. So I was following, my eyes were following him, everywhere. And then finally, he at last he came near me, and I said, "Why are you crying? I lost my mom. Again, I lost her. Again, I lost her." And then I said, go inside. Don't go here. Don't stand here. Go inside and ask a teacher. So then my husband looked at me. What are you doing? You can go and help. I said yes, but because I was in a different state of mind. What was happening? So I said, yeah, let me go. So as soon as I went, the boy was also near the teacher, and I said that he's trying to find her mom, or with whom they came. Anyhow, the mom then came, and I saw that mom talking to someone, and she totally had forgotten about his child, her child. And that is what, because that time, see, the guides were showing me everything. Just imagine. And now you are mentioning the same thing. And that boy was not happy. He had everything in his hand, and he until he found his mom, he was not happy. Whatever you give him, whatever you do. And it's so correct what you said just now. I'm like, see, the guides are what are they trying to tell me? That's what
Yeah, this is the core.
Right.
Yeah, these are some points. So that, like, even if we have everything in our life materially, there's some, that's why we are here, right? All of us have joined it because there's something else we are always looking for. So just
Anyhow,
go to the
yeah.
ultimate Father, and they will
Yes,
take care
yes.
of it.
So
So thank you so much for all your questions. Give me 1 second.
now, Masters, we'll go on to chapter 7. And the chapter 7 is based on, the topic is accidents. So Rani ji will take us on to that.
So yeah, I just read like a couple of pages. It's not even half of the story, but I'm gonna share what I read. This is on accidents, and there are 2 accidents. One is for Jason, and the other one is Christina. We're going to talk about Jason today. So the author says that on the earth plane, physical accidents appear to be random events. When they are minor, we label them unfortunate. When they are severe, we call them tragic. And so we often fear accidents. This chapter explores a planned accident. Many accidents are planned before birth for the purpose of spiritual growth, service to others, awakening, and deeper self knowing. Profound growth is possible not only for the person who experienced this accident, but also for everyone that the person touches. Ultimately, because all lives are interconnected, everyone is touched. In this chapter, we are talking about Jason first, and which is much more recent, and then Christina. Before they were born, both chose to face an extraordinary challenge. So we'll start with Jason's story. So there's a situation, and I cannot make a bullet point. I have to read the entire situation here, right? Jason thought as he surveyed the scene in the backyard on a warm, sunny August afternoon in 2004, his friends were milling about the chatting happily, and they awaited the barbecue dinner Jason and his wife Davina were going to prepare. Later, after sunset, they would gather around a roaring bonfire. Jason and Davina's son, Jaron and Garrett Fox. So Jason had 2 sons, and he lived with his wife and the children. He used to call Garrett as Fox for the short. Were splashing in the swimming pool while other children were running across the grass, laughing and playing games. Jason had recently completed his final interview for a chef, and a job that would be fulfillment for a lifelong dream was coming to him. Earlier in that day, he had push mowed his acre lot of in one quick scoop, and he was claiming that I'm a Superman. Moments later, the course of his wife was altered forever. Davina called Jason and asked him to begin cooking dinner. He ran away from her and jumped into the pool to splash. Playfully, he was running away from her, and he was splashing his son, Jaron. He jumped like he normally would, only this time it was different. This time, he hit his head on the bottom of the pool. It was like a lightning bolt shoot through his spine. He wanted to move his arms to swim to the loop, but he couldn't. He was drifting down into the water, completely helpless. And then he surrendered to the water. Next thing he knows, he saw vivid pictures of all the people he loved. He says, I was being shown all the things I didn't want to leave behind. I can't stress enough the amount of peace and tranquility and serenity I felt. I wanted to embrace that feeling and stay with it, but I was a 32-year-old male with a wife and kids and career. It wasn't my time. The message I received from the higher power was, you're going to get through this. You don't have any room for guilt, regret, or negativity, or any other thoughts of that kind. Jaron was the first to realize that something went wrong. When he tried to lift his father, there was no response. Then he looked into his father's eyes and saw that he was not there. His friends pulled him from the pool. Davina pounded on his chest, screaming, you're not gonna die. You cannot go like this. Jason had crushed 2 cervical vertebrae. He was airlifted to the hospital where doctors performed emergency surgery, as Jason and his family would soon learn. He was now paralyzed from the chest down, though he could still move some muscle in his arm. When he woke up, he had a hard plastic tube down his throat. Jason said, I was connected to all kinds of tubes and wires. I didn't have a whole lot of feeling from my shoulders down. However, there was more excruciating pain than I had ever imagined. It was in my bones, deep inside. My first instinct was to rip out the tube so I could speak because my mind was racing. That was the longest day of my life, an entire day of not being able to speak. I just wanted to tell people I'm still here. Everything's going to be okay. When they went for a deep vein of the IV, my father saw a tear run down my cheek. And that's how he knew I was still in there. In the days that followed, and despite his condition, Jason focused on how others were feeling. He says, I took it up on myself to make people feel as good as possible. When the respiratory therapist placed a vibrating vest on him to loosen fluid that had collected in his lungs, Jason saw an opportunity, and then he started singing for them. I did Elmer Fudd version of Bruce Springsteen's Fire, and I was like, I'm diving in my car. It drew a crowd outside my room and people were laughing. I was so glad to be alive and so empowered by my experience with God. I wanted to make everybody around me happy, even though I was going through one of the most difficult things I could imagine. Jason was in intensive care for 2 weeks and rehabilitation for more than 3 months. The rehab process was slow. At first, his muscle did not respond. He needed others to feed him. and to change his clothes. As Jason progressed through rehab, he was confronted with realization that his life would never be the same. A particularly difficult moment occurred during occupational therapy when he was asked to cut a sandwich in half. My therapist, he says, my therapist took a small French knife and put it in my hand. Jason remembered I had been a chef for many years and was able to do a lot of things with a French knife. I was staring at it, thinking about how I used to start my day at work by getting 6 big onions and a bunch of carrots, head of celery diced up and sizzling in a pot within 15 minutes. Now I could barely even hold it, let alone cut the sandwich. I broke down and I cried. Jason made it through rehab by repeating the motto, I will until, meaning I will try until I can. He also imposed a rule upon himself, never use the word can't without the word yet. Although he was happy to leave rehab, his return was difficult. People didn't know and didn't understand and were confused and were worried that they were going to hurt me. Jason explained, every single day I had to come to grips with the amount of help I need, the amount of stress I put on people. For Davina, whom Jason described as empathetic by nature, the experience has been intensely difficult. She has been overwhelmed by seeing her husband not be able to move from the chest down. Jason told me she holds her feeling in to prevent she holds her feelings in to prevent me from thinking that she sees me as a less of a person. They have struggled with the impact of their sex life, a lot of sadness, a sense of loss. Jason said quietly, we are working at it. How have you talked to your sons about the accident? When Jason was asked. Fox will say things like, Daddy, remember when you used to move your legs? Remember when we used to go fishing? I say, Daddy will still be able to go fishing, Fox. It'll just be a little different. Jaron has an enormous amount of compassion for my situation. He doesn't see it as a tragedy. He's had to be there for his mother and brother a lot more. He has stepped into that role. Jason's mother has also assumed a caretaking role. Though their relationship has been strained at times, she's very meticulous about my care and doesn't ever go as fast as I want. Jason explained, so I will suggest steps ahead and she will get real frustrated. She's actually cried and left the room. Oh, this is not fast enough. See you later. But she shows that unconditional motherly love for him. She would do anything for him. There has been an outpouring of love from the community as well. A benefit dinner, a silent auction raised for money for ramps and wider doors for Jason's home. Friends split and stacked firewood on the occasion. They carved JT into one of the logs and presented it as a gift. A local church donated a new shower unit, so many people have contributed in so many ways that Davina published a letter in the newspaper to thank all of them. There are, however, a few friends who don't come around anymore, said Jason. A friend from college came to see him in the ICU and said, honestly, I didn't want to see you like this because I want to remember you the way you were. He came by one more time while I was in rehab, but I have not seen him since. There are some people who still see me and not the accident, and some people who see the accident and not me. Gradually, Jason is adapting to his new life. After much practice, he's now able to feed himself. He can wash himself as long as he's placed in the shower. The daily process of bathing and dressing sometimes takes up to 4 hours. It's difficult for Jason to hold a pen, but he can write by moving his entire arm. The patience lesson comes on many levels, he observed. He says, I can't regret the split second I dove into the pool, he added, especially in light of my understanding that it happened for a reason. Jason, what would you like to say to someone who just had an accident or is caring for someone who had one? He was asked. He said, I think about what I still have, he replied. I'm still able to remember things, problem solve, do crossword puzzles, and be sharp. And a lot of people who never would have met have bonded over my experience. I'm grateful for that. What else would you like for people to know? He was asked. Crying helps to heal. That was his message. And there's still that person inside. Just because they don't look or move the way they did before does not mean that they are not still in there and that you can't still love them. I believe that we are adaptable creatures. We adapt and overcome. That's it for today, Madhuji. That as we covered till page number 207.
Thank you
I
so
think we
much.
will meet tomorrow.
Thank you, Rani ji, for covering up till 207 page number. But thank you so much, Masters, and for listening to this wonderful reading by Rani ji, and also Swadhyaya, because she was also explaining as well. Now my point here is that definitely we are learning so much every day, but are we applying? My first question is, are we applying? If not, please do that. And what are we learning? So there's another question that Suresh ji, very wonderful question, Suresh ji, that you have mentioned here. So I'll read it all to you, Masters, that Suresh ji has mentioned here. I would question why we hide our soul decisions, saying shamefully to subject to self-harassment. This is a very important question, very, very important. And here, I would say whatever my understanding is that as human beings, like we definitely are powerful souls, but we have forgotten as soon as we incarnated on this plane. And when we incarnate, we take this personality, whatever personality, like I am Madhu as this personality, you are Sirish as your personality, but as such, we all are souls. We are powerful souls. We have come here to understand, or we have come here to learn that lesson of understanding that there are certain ego states in us. At subconscious level or conscious level, we are filled with that ego. So when that ego is there, and when we can't leave that ego, that is where the dark night of the soul comes. That we have to understand that whatever confusion is there, whatever surrender we need, or whatever, wherever we need to, let go of certain heavy emotions, that is where that this dark night of the soul comes. That our soul or our personality goes through that journey where we learn and understand that it's better to accept rather than resisting it. It's good to surrender rather than just showing our ego. And that is where this dark night of the soul comes. And this is basically the journey or the process of purification of our own personalities and going into this, becoming aligned with the soul self, I would say. So this is a very nice question that we all should question, why we are actually hiding our actual self, the soul self, or the soul decisions that we have taken. Now the thing is, we are living in this society because we are society driven. The community is also society driven, and that is why, if this understanding is there, like whatever questions we have in our lives, we are not free to take those decisions. Our heart says something else, but the mind says, what is the community going to think about? And that is where the difference, the mind says something else and the heart says something else. Mind and heart
Conflict.
are not aligned. Yeah, they are not aligned. And that is why when this difference comes, basically, we feel confusion, we feel a lot of resistance. It's like we cannot understand what should we do because our heart says something else, and that the heart that says is, see, if the community is not there, just keep the community aside. If you are with your own child, whoever it is, me, you, or anyone else, our children are saying something, but if there was no community, wouldn't we let our kids do what they want to do? We would not even control them. Or if we are, as husband and wives, we are living whatever we want to do, if our husbands are or wives are not forcing us to do certain things, we would do what our heart says. But because we are always in that thinking mode, society mode, community mode, and that are the layers of identification. We identify through these layers. And that is why when we go inwards, when we meditate, these layers, we actually try and remove all these layers. And that is where this inner work comes, and we start working with ourselves and we understand, wow, really? So this has been a journey for me. I went through this dark night of the soul, and I understood that what my heart wants, what my mind wants. And it was basically, I came out of the domestication, because your husband wants something out of you, your wives want something out of you, your children want something out of you. Then what do? I said, let it go. I don't want to go, and I don't want to abide by anyone's rules. I actually left it. I had lot of argument, lot of fight, but then I said to myself, and I said to my whole family, I want to do what I want to do. I am hungry, I'm going to eat first. If I am not feeling this, I'm not going to do that. If you are all humans, I am human too. And that was my journey. And then there was a lot of change in my life. And definitely now I am at this stage that I am also human. I'm not a Koluka bell that I'm going to go and do stuff. No, it's my life. I am going to go and choose my rules, my way of living. If I'm happy with this, I'm going to do that. If you are happy with that, go and do that. But yeah, there are certain set of rules where we have to come together and live together. So that's why the self-harassment, I stopped doing that with myself, and I took my life in my own hands, and I chose all those things that made me happy. That's why I always tell everyone, do what makes you feel happy. I know the truth, your own truth will help you, will actually free you basically. And actually, this is what I feel. I feel free now. Earlier, I was like so much bound by so many relations. Now I'm only, see, I'm maintaining everything, but I'm in that detached mode. I now see myself as that soul. Definitely, I have my own sets of emotions, crying, attachments, attractions. But then at the end of the day, I'm a soul and I'm a powerful soul. That's what I know. And that is what I'm continuing my journey with. And this is what, very good question, Siriji. Amazing. You actually hit the target. So this had to come out. And I was thinking that I'm going to share about the dark night of the soul. But because we just ended that chapter, I stopped. I said, okay, let us just continue. But wonderful. Thank you. So I hope you all must have gone through your own purification process. My purification process happened, and this purification process made me realize that what I want. Basically, dark night of the soul is nothing but the purification process of your own personality. What you want out of your life. Definitely, maybe someplace we are not, how to say, we might be not representing ourselves the way we want to, but at least I'm reaching there. I'm trying to reach there, what I want. There are certain things that I wanted to achieve in my life, but I wasn't, because maybe I had to come this side, another way. But I was a good like marketing person. I was really aggressive marketer. So I was like, whatever I do, I'm very perfect with that. And when something does not go my way, or it does not, like, see, today when I wanted to reduce Rani ji, words were like something coming out, garbled. What am I doing? So anyhow, but I have my own shortcomings. But thank you so much, Shiriji, for your question. So if you have anything to say, please go ahead. What are your views? And then we can go into meditation.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. That makes a lot of sense. And there's a lot of resistance we create. We put ourselves in very complex situation by taking birth, right? And of course, we have to find our way out to the freedom. And hopefully one get there. Otherwise, 90% of time is our confusion to deal with the traditional crap that we come with.
Yes. And I'm becoming untraditional day by day. I don't know what is happening, but I'm getting detached, and people are saying, what is happening? Like, why she's not talking? But the thing is, I'm busy, really busy. Actually, I don't have time. No, I have time. I have time. I choose my words nicely. But the thing is, yes, definitely, we are we are all powerful souls, and we are here to learn something, our purpose. So every time there will be certain things that will come as a test in your life, and that is what had been happening with me. My own truth had been shown to me, my own fears, my own strengths, weaknesses. So in Hindi sessions also, what I basically work on, and here also, once we are done with this your soul span Swadhyaya, definitely, moreover, everything about your life is your inner work. So when you start working with your inner self and getting to know your own self, you start a journey into your own self, and you get to know that, oh wow, am I like this? Am I like that? And you know your habits, where you actually out of habit, you tend to do certain things. So I'm getting aware of my own habits, and then I'm curbing them. So basically getting better day by day.
So refining your judgmental capability, or the Vivek Buddhi that we call it in Sanskrit, right? So
Yeah.
that is the key of educator for us. So choosing the right thing on your path, right?
Mhm.
So that is the key, because you can be on the wrong track altogether, right?
Definitely. Definitely. That is what I'm telling you, that the point is to choose what is right for your. Now here dharma also comes. Dharma also comes.
Exactly.
So definitely you are bound by so many relations, so many things are around you. Many ups and downs will be there. You would some things will attract you, some things will make you feel like you don't want to go there. It would be like you would hate that. But then now what are we learning? Spirituality. Under spirituality, we are bound by these rules that we don't have to judge anyone. We don't have to criticize. We should not be in guilt. We should not be in that under lower vibrational states. And that is where everything. But here there's another thing that comes, that when you are working on your inner self, definitely we have to keep this in mind, that definitely if you feel anger, show your anger, be angry, not to worry about it, but at least take that out. Don't keep that emotion inside. If you feel love, show that love, don't keep it inside, because if you do that, that emotions are basically making a blockage in your body, in your this physical personality. And then what happens again, to live that emotion, because your feeling desires are there, you have to again incarnate. And I don't want to go into that journey. I don't want to go into that cycle. My whole way of thinking, mindset, is that I am doing my karma, not I'm doing like trying to do good karma, so that whatever is happening, I don't want to incarnate again. I want to go from here now. I'm done. Whatever I've done, I'm done. So it's like so much, so many experiences I've gained, but it had been very like upheavals in my life, and it was like not okay. It was not. I would blame, I would question, and I would say, why this has to happen to me? But then I understood, because until unless I went through this journey, I wouldn't be able to help other people. So this is not easy, but it is not difficult either. But there's this journey that we all have to go, and that is where this purification process, dark night of the soul, happens. And when you come out of that dark night of the soul, you are at peace. You know where you are going. So I hope you must have gone. If not,
Yeah. So one disagreement here. I mean, I'm sorry. I had to be open here, right?
mhm.
When you say, when you are angry, express it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
You also have to be responsible for the action that you're doing on other mind,
correct,
right? The
correct,
receiver mind. So the impact of that, suppose if you get angry and that person gets upset, harassed, and does something which is you didn't anticipate, right? Kills himself or cuts himself or whatever he does, right? He goes into depression.
correct.
So you have to be thoughtful of your repercussion of your actions.
Definitely, that part is there, but the action that the other person takes is not your thing to take care of. Basically, not fully, I would say.
Mm.
Definitely, we have to speak in such a way that the other person does not go and kill themselves. But the
Right.
thing is, we are not going to force anyone to do certain. That's why Patri sir always says that don't force anyone to do anything. The change should always come into you. That's why when I am angry, or I definitely, I would let them know that I am angry at this, but I would not force them to take such certain actions where they just go and do something very that is not required or not good. But definitely would let, and I would be angry, and maybe earlier I would be screaming, shouting, or doing blah blah blah, something, saying certain stuff. But now I'm much more at peace. I would be angry, I would just keep quiet, or I would have my own time, my me time, or just staying detached, not going there, not
Yeah.
doing all those things that I used to do. But now, so this is what spirituality has done to me, or the inner work has done to me. I've understood myself that to how much extent my anger can go, to calm myself down, and also to understand that, when you are basically meditating, when you're a meditator, that's what I felt. Meditation has changed a lot in me, and definitely it has brought clarity that how much anger is required. Definitely getting angry and not talking is another one thing that you can always do with yourself, and keep quiet, remain aloof, and come back when you are ready to, mingle with others.
Yeah. If I don't mind, I want to add one more statement. Let me know if you agree. Every person who gets upset have a responsibility to explain why he's upset.
Not necessary. That is why we are different people, and that is why you are on a different journey, Siriji. I'm on a different journey. Let's see, we are all coming together here. We are
No, wait a minute. Just a second. If I'm upset today and I don't tell you why I'm upset today,
yeah.
would you like it?
See, I don't know you personally. So for me and you to be like, to get on that level is something like you have to be in that family, right? So
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like your question is basically with your family involved. I understood.
No, anybody, right? Anybody. For that matter, if I'm going to my office and I have a subordinates, I have a peers who are working with me and I'm upset with them, I should be telling them, guys, this is what I'm expecting and this is what you're doing. I think this is going to hurt us in long run.
Yeah.
And this is what is my position.
Yes.
So it's a responsibility of a person who is expressing the anger to explain them what is going wrong.
Yes, definitely. That is the responsibility people should. But this scenario can happen in your family. It can happen in your workspace.
Anywhere. Yeah.
It can happen here also. But the thing is, definitely with choosing good words and keeping your point of view across in a nice way can help you. So way of speaking can be different, different way of speaking can happen. And that is where definitely you can show. But when you are in a family setting, definitely people tend to keep quiet. They don't want to share. However you want them to, however you force them, you can choose such words where it can shake that person, but still they are not speaking, and that happens. But then there are different personality, and now the learning that comes is that we have to accept and surrender and let the time take its course. Basically, universe has seen everything. Universe is with you, with me, you, anyone else, and the universe will teach you. Like how I always say in Hindi sessions, उसके छड़ी में आवाज नहीं होती, एक्चुअली नहीं होती, वो पता चलता है, लेकिन मेरे को बहुत हेल्प किया है तो मुझे होता है. तो जब मेरे को ऐसा लगा, when I wanted that, they are not, it's not justified with me, this is not good, why I have to be at the receiving end always. And then finally there are certain things happening in my life where he heard everything, and that is where I'm saying that you have to do what you are here to do. So anyhow, the time is up, masters. People are now so, but thank you for a nice discussion, masters, and it's great. Let's go into meditation. Sit cross. Oh, sorry, masters. Yeah, now it's time to go into meditation, masters, and take your stance, take your position, sit cross-legged. 30-40 minutes of meditation, masters. Let's go and take a deep breath in, masters, and breathe out. So sit relaxed, keep your back straight, your eyes closed, hands clasped, and breathe in and breathe out. So as you progress further, masters, within your own self, be aware of each and every incoming breath and outgoing breath. Every breath that you breathe in is very important. It has the power to change your life, to change your mindset, your beliefs, your energy levels. Every second counts as you breathe in. So as you inhale and exhale, try to center your energies, your power. So as you breathe in and breathe out, masters, take 4, 5 deep in breaths and out breaths. And see how you feel as you center your energies, as you receive this incoming breath. Reclaim your power wherever you have given your power the whole day. Bring your power back wherever you have been submissive to anyone, where you wanted to speak but you couldn't speak. That is where you lost your power. So let us bring that power back within your own self. Bring the power of your own soul into yourself. Breathing in and breathing out. Every breath is highly important. Totally rejuvenating, recharging, bringing peace and calm into yourself. As you breathe in, bring this vision into your mindset. See yourself from the crown of your head to the soles and toes of your feet, as if there's a triangle, a pyramid in place of your body. The base is your feet, your 2 limbs, and your hands are clasped in between. Your crown is at the center of this triangle, the topmost part, the peak of the pyramid. Whenever you keep a pyramid or anything, the energies of that particular thing starts becoming aligned with the universe. So just imagine if you are the pyramid, your energies are now aligning with the universe, our source. You just have to be aware of each and every breath, one by one. As you inhale, feel the peace and calm entering your body, mind, and even in your soul. And as you breathe out, you release your heaviness, any trauma, any problematic situations out through your breath as a way to give your body lightness that it requires. Releasing all the heaviness, all the responsibilities for this while. When you meditate, so breathe in, masters, and relax your head space, your facial expressions. Relax your jaws, your shoulders, arms, and hands. With another incoming breath, focus on your spine, your upper back, middle back, and lower back. And relax as you breathe out. Take a deep in-breath into your heart and lungs. Let your lungs expand totally and fully with each incoming breath. And feel every breath cleaning your chambers of your heart and blocking your arteries and veins, removing infections from your lungs. As you breathe out, be steady and slow with your breath, even when you are breathing in and breathing out. Keep a balance between the two. And take your time with every incoming and outgoing breath. Relax your stomach region, reproductive region, and your lower abdomen region. As you breathe in, let your stomach muscles expand and contract as you breathe out. As you progress, masters, now go downwards towards your feet, below your waist, relaxing your hips, thighs, your knees, calf muscles, the soles of your feet and your toes. Every incoming breath goes into your parasympathetic nerves, your veins, bones, bone marrow, your skeletal and muscular system. The vibrations of every breath is vibrating inside your body, cleaning it and healing it. Feel the healing energies moving in with every incoming breath. And as you release your breath, your traumas, your pain, your challenges are going out and transmuting into golden energies. Your body feels lighter and lighter, as if your body will float or levitate. My dear masters, ground your energies into Mother Earth. For people who are new, we ground our energies into Mother Earth, feeling as if we are big trees, and these toes that we have in our feet or on our feet are growing roots, You are going deep inside Mother and anchoring into Mother. So anchor your roots. Feel the energies of these roots. Anchoring deep down, Mother Earth. Now, let us be aware of each and every breath. Forget about your body. The body is totally in control, totally safe and protected, and connected to Mother Earth's harmonious healing energies. Now just remember that you are a soul. Leave your body's consciousness and get aligned with soul consciousness, becoming one with everything. Everything around you is your own creation, your own reality that you created. Now become one with everything. Be in sync with your incoming and outgoing breath. Be steady with your body and take time in breathing in and take time when you breathe out and become one. Be with your breath masters. Every second of your breath counts. Your choice to make it powerful or weak. Do you want to be healed or unhealthy? Our choices make our lives. It creates our realities. So breathe it or leave it. my dear masters. Be aware of every breath, every moment holds the key to create a new reality. Every breath has the power to change you, your energies, and your consciousness. As you breathe in and breathe out, be steady and slow with your breath. Take your time. No competition with anyone or whatsoever you may feel. Feel the interval between the two breaths that you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Sense the energies. Sense the deepening of every breath. My dear masters, now let us all come back into our body's consciousness. Very slowly, take your time to return back into your own body. Let us give thanks to Mother Earth for energizing us, harmonizing our energies, balancing and stabilizing us, and grounding our energy. As we breathe in and breathe out, let us return to this divine temple that we take as personality in this lifetime. The pyramid that we have become. Let us feel this pyramid, sense it with a deep incoming breath and outgoing breath. Let us return into our own universe, our own body, our own temple. Try to feel your toes, your hands, your spine. As you keep your back straight, head straight, keep your head on your neck in a balanced way. Let us take a deep in breath and unclasp our hands. With your unclasped hands and palms, keep the palms on your eyes for 5 seconds. As we are towards the end, masters, give thanks and gratitude to each and every meditator who was meditating along with you. Thanking everyone, let us keep the palms on our eyes for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And very slowly, masters, let us all come back and open our eyes beneath the palm. Whenever you feel comfortable, masters, whenever you're ready, let us remove our hands and open our eyes with a beautiful smile. Thank you so much, masters. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. So, masters, with that, we are at the end of the session. And today, we have a wonderful discussion and a wonderful Swadhyaya by Rani Ji. Lots and lots of gratitude to Rani Ji and her Swadhyaya. And also for all those discussions that we had, which brought a great understanding in our beliefs, our mindset, and our thinking. So thank you to each and every master. Thank you, Rani Ji. And let us meet tomorrow again. If anyone has any experiences to share or any questions, please do mention it in the group when the group is open, or whenever you come tomorrow, let us incorporate the time a little bit for experience sharing as well. But thank you so much. So masters, thank you, and do pick up the Swadhyaya. If anyone is willing to do the Swadhyaya, we are just 3-4 days away from finishing this book. So for tomorrow, if anyone wants to pick, please do pick. Otherwise, we are going to go on to Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, and then we have to go on Monday as well. So let's pick and finish this book. It's a wonderful book. That's all I want to say right now. So let us end the session, masters. May we all be happy, healthy, and vibrant. May we all experience love, peace, abundance, prosperity, happiness, and joy in our lives. Let us practice meditation every day. Let us practice meditation with ourselves and also with group energies. Let us teach meditation to others, awaken others. But first and foremost, let's change ourselves. Let's be aware of who we are. With that, Masters, I give thanks to each and every one of you. Love you all, Masters. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day from whichever part of the world you're joining in. Thank you. Thank you so much.